Hello, everybody. My name is Ernie, and this is my PE2 conceptual design presentation. So the site we selected for our building is site 2 out of the ones on the screen. The reason why we chose this site is because of its size, because of its geometry, because of how close it is to the park, and because of the views that you're able to get to downtown from this location. Also, its access to public transit and other amenities in the area. So here, from the research that I did in the past, this is a diagram that was created for one of the older modules. Basically, this kind of shows us all the different amenities that we have in this neighborhood. And it looks like we do have quite a bit of stuff in the entertainment industry. We do have a lot of art-driven industries in this area. So we also have some event space. We have retail. We do have also office, corporate locations as well. And then when we look at the culture diagram presented, we're able to see how all of that contributes to the culture of the neighborhood. We have all types of industries in the creative fields, such as film, art, photography, live music, and we also have some entertainment venues, such as a wrestling venue that is right next to our site. We do have some cultural center, the Latino Cultural Center nearby, and we also have some residential spaces to the left of our site, which is predominantly Hispanic in population. And of course, we have the bridge, which has all kinds of cultural events going on, and the park below it as well. This is a diagram that kind of shows us the sound noise pollution that we have in the area. So obviously there is quite a bit of pollution coming from the bridge, also from the railroad south of our side, and from the other bridge, the 4th Street Bridge west of our side. Moving on, this is kind of gives us a little understanding of our summer south side sound path, and then this gives us a winter south side sound path. So for when it came to the groups that determined the occupants for my project, my first group pretty much represents the single warehouse worker. We do have a lot of warehouses, produce and meat wholesalers in the area, so I imagine there's probably quite a bit of employees that are looking to live near their job. And this group represents that employee. In the typology proposed for this type of group would be the studio apartment that would be part of a perimeter block typology. This is the floor plan that I came up with for this specific group. It's a studio apartment with a lot of space. It has natural light, has a small restroom, and a small kitchen. Group 2 represents the young professionals couple that lives and works in the neighborhood. They're both typically in the creative industries, whether that be in fashion, art, photography, film, even architecture. And their typology is that of a 1-bedroom apartment in a perimeter block. This is the floor plan that I came up with. It's a 1-bedroom apartment. What makes it special is the use of this space right here that can be used to work from home, as that is probably something they'd be doing a lot. And also we have some bigger dining and living spaces that can be used for entertaining. Group number 3 represents a low-income family that recently immigrated from Latin American country or any other country. This is usually a small family with 2 small children. The typology proposed for this group would be either a row house or a perimeter block or even a tower typology in a 2-bedroom apartment. This is the floor plan that I came up with. It's a floor plan that is very well distributed, has a bigger kitchen that allows for meal prepping, as they would be using the kitchen a lot more than the other groups, and it has some room for dining and living as well. Moving on, group number 4 represents the young influencer that moved into LA, is currently living in a roommate situation with other 2 roommates. Proposed typology for this group is a 3-bedroom apartment. And this is the apartment that I come up with. It has rooms big enough to have a queen size bed and a small desk for working from home. Has plenty of storage spaces and some room for dining, entertainment, and cooking. Group number 5 represents a low-income multi-generational family. This is a family composed of mom and dad, 2 sisters, and an older brother who's moved back in with his wife and his kid. Proposed typology would be perimeter block typology or a row house typology or a tower typology in a 5-bedroom apartment. What makes it special is the separation of these 2 bedrooms right here with their own access to their own restroom. This would be to kind of allow the young family of the older brother, the wife, and the kid to have their own spaces separated from the rest of the apartment. This is the proposed layout I have for the different types of groups. I would put group 5 and 2 together. These 2 represent the multi-generational family and the low-income family, just because of that family connection that they have. They speak the same language. They probably want to be around each other and help each other out when needed. And I group number 2, number 4, and number 1 together, just because these are the young adults, young professionals. They probably want to be around each other, socialize, connect, network, that type of stuff. These would typically be associated with higher levels and further away from stairs, while group number 5 and 2 would be closer to stairs, if needed, closer to the entrances, exits, elevators, or amenities, and probably be put in lower levels. This is my proposed program square footage of 40,500 square feet for one building. Here I have a diagram representing the different programs that I'm proposing. The ones that are kind of sticking out a little bit are the public spaces, while the others are more of the private spaces. So this would be composed of dwelling units, a leasing office, circulation space, maintenance storage for staff, green roof, gymnasium, co-work space, meeting space, and space for commercial, retail, and restaurant. Moving on, this is my communal living arrangement studies. Here you can kind of see the differences in where those spaces would be allocated. Level 1 would be dedicated to commercial spaces wrapped around our core of residential spaces. Level 2 would be mostly residential spaces. Level 3 would be also mostly dwelling units. Level 4 would also be dwelling units with this added terrace that would be part of a common space. And then level 5 will be dedicated to amenities, and the green roof will also be an amenity provided as well. This is my access to open space study. This kind of shows where all the open space would be allocated. So right outside our building, we have this courtyard that is connected to the other buildings on site. We also have the open space in the lounge terrace mentioned before, and the green roof on top. Environmental considerations when designing this building. We have these overhangs throughout our building that kind of help to produce shadows that help reduce solar heat gain. We also have the use of stairs instead of having elevators, which significantly reduces the amount of energy consumed by our building overall. We also have the use of slat walls that kind of act as a double wall wrapping our building. This kind of helps provide some shadow, some protection, privacy, noise pollution reduction, and reduces our solar heat gain as well. On the roof, we have our green roof, which reduces the amount of stormwater runoff that we have, helps to make our roof surfaces cooler, and therefore reduces heat flux in our roof. This is our access and circulation diagram at a site scale, so we can kind of see how we're able to access the building from the street level. Here we have parking available, and then we have vertical circulation. That is how we access the different levels in our building. These are provided on both sides of the building, and then we have these sky bridges which connect all of the buildings on site and help our occupants take advantage of all the amenities, not just the ones on their particular building. Here we have a typical floor plan that I use throughout all levels of the building. Here I kind of have pictures to remind us of which group would be assigned to what unit. This is the young family, multi-generational family. Here we have the young influencer with the roommates. We have the young professionals couple, and then we have the warehouse employee who is single and occupies the studio apartment. Moving on, we have floor plan level 1. We see how our typical floor plan is core of this layout, and then around it we have the commercial spaces. This is level 2. Here we have access to a sky bridge. Level 3, here we have access to another sky bridge. And then level 4, here we have also access to another set of sky bridges. Level 5, our amenities floor. And here we have our public to private relationships diagram, kind of showing what is private and what is public. So here, private would be our dwelling units. Public spaces would be our courtyard, commercial spaces, a roof, and our lounge terrace, as well as our stairs. This is my massing study. This is how I came up with the final massing choice. Considerations that came into mind were the LA climate, allowing us to have exterior corridors that can wrap around our building rather than having interior corridors that had to be air conditioned. Now, this also allowed us to have exterior stairways, and this staggered massing also provided shade, which made our building more efficient. And the orientation and location of this particular building helps us to get some views of downtown LA. Moving on, this is our site plan. Here we can kind of see the relationship between our building and the surrounding buildings in the site. We see the use of these green spaces and our parking as well. Here's a physical program massing model. Our top view, this is our northwest and our northeast view. And here we have our southwest and our southeast views as well. Here we kind of see the bridge in our building and its proximity to the bridge. Here we have sections, and we see how the interior spaces interact with the exterior spaces. We see also our vertical circulations of our stairways, and just how everything kind of flows together. This is our section perspective. This kind of helps us see everything in 3D. And then we also have another section perspective. Here's my exterior perspective. This is a rendered view that kind of shows how everything is put together and how everything kind of works. We see the use of the green spaces. We see our parking lot. We see our sky bridges connecting to our other buildings, and then we have our main building. And we kind of see how the massing went from that very simple massing into a bit of a more complex massing. I've also integrated the use of these storefront systems for our retail spaces and also a storefront system on top in what would be a lounge area for occupants to allow them to get views of downtown. Here we have another perspective from a different corner. This kind of helps us see the other side and how everything kind of flows. And that is my presentation. Thank you for your time.